Okay, so I'd like to share a story of how and why I came to um, be interested in mushrooms, fungi, mycelium, and such. It's because basically a few years ago um, I mean, to be honest, as a human being, I think we kind of instinctively have this curiosity of nature, and especially mushrooms. Some people tend to be kind of scared and ignore or instantly kind of be wary of any mushrooms, and others like to find out what it is, kind of observe, investigate, inspect mushrooms. So a few years ago, I was on on a few weeks. Yeah. Well, in a few weeks' time, I came across a lot of mushrooms just growing, and I just did some research on them, just briefly at that time, and it was like one after another. I found edible mushrooms, and then I was like very confident in my ability to be able to find edible mushrooms and then eating them without any consequences, like, because they were edible mushrooms. But the very last of those few weeks, so it's probably like 2 weeks of me finding mushrooms, and some of those were just non-edible and not poisonous, but it was edible most of the time. And then the very last one, or where I came across one piece of mushroom, it was a poisonous mushroom, toxic mushroom, and it was probably one of those that where even like a 0.2 milligrams was too strong, kind of. I believe I don't know, I found it as a guy, and then that was the time where I think I did like search it up, but I was very certain that it was a portobello mushroom. It looked so much like a portobello mushroom, and I actually had a picture of it, but I deleted it after a few months because I was so traumatized by it. I had it, and then I got poisoned. It was so toxic, and then after that I started becoming very careful of the mushrooms that I see and that I find outdoors, by myself. And ever since then, I only had, I think, two or three maybe species of mushrooms that I was certain that it was edible and not poisonous, edible mushroom. And yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very very focused on like finding mushrooms and then learning about mushrooms, because it's also a theme, a topic, a subject that is not a commonly shared or kind of educated openly. So I feel like it's also a good outlet for like videos to share whilst I'm learning about them. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of species of mushrooms that don't have names yet. So yeah, and there's not many people that know a lot about mushrooms as well. So it's just like, wow, that's the biggest dragonfly I've ever seen in a long time, and super fast. What in the world? But yeah, mushrooms. And let me add to that, if you are also interested about mushrooms, fungi, mycelium, and such, do join me on my journey. I will be sharing about different kinds of mushrooms, fungi that I encounter. And I've been asked, like, how do you find these mushrooms? Like, how do you see them? I feel like at one point in time, I feel like I could just see them, but now it feels like they kind of like say hello, in a sense. Like, I'm here, look at me, and then like, I just go there, and then you just see them. I mean, who knows? Because we are closer to mushrooms than we are closer to plants. We are descendants of fungi, so I feel like there's some kind of connection there. But yeah, do join me on the journey of actually meeting and greeting friendly and unfriendly, but our own family of fungi that we share the planet with. So yeah, shall explore.